Breaking: Ghana is striking back hard. After losing over $6 billion to illegal gold smuggling, President John Mahama has launched a historic military task force to crack down on the criminal gold trade that's draining the nation's wealth. For years, corrupt foreign interests and local cartels have moved Ghana's gold in the shadows, but not anymore. Mahama isn't just making speeches. He's sending soldiers and police to the mines, to the borders, to the airstrips. And if you're caught, the punishment? $230,000 in fines or 10 years in prison. This is the first real war on gold corruption in West Africa. Will it succeed? Or will the gold mafia fight back? Welcome to Stand Up Africa. This is your go-to channel for bold African stories, real news, and fearless truth. From politics to power moves, we spotlight Africa's rising voices. Subscribe and join the movement because Africa is standing up and the world is watching. Disclaimer: the content on Stand Up Africa is for informational and educational purposes only. While we aim for accuracy, we encourage viewers to do their own research. All opinions expressed are those of the creators and do not reflect official positions unless stated.
This is a breaking news on our channel. Today, the President of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, has officially taken action to fight the canker of gold smuggling in Ghana. This comes after several calls by well-meaning Ghanaians to the President to set up a task force to deal with the activities of illegal miners and smugglers who are depleting the natural resources of the nation. Before we begin, I would appreciate a like on this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates. With that said, let's dive into today's news, and in today's video, we'll be looking at what exactly the President said and how he plans to fight this menace. According to estimates by the government, Ghana loses about $5 billion annually to illegal gold mining and smuggling activities. But thankfully, the President himself, President John Dramani Mahama, has now taken the bull by the horns and has announced that the anti-smuggling task force would be launched soon. The Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIIF, which was established to collect royalties from mining companies, disclosed that small-scale miners are estimated to produce between 18 and 20 tons of gold annually. He said that the recent upsurge in illegal mining and smuggling of gold demanded urgent state intervention to halt the worrying trend. The President noted that the activities of illegal miners, popularly known as galamsey operators, were destroying the environment and depriving the state of its fair share of revenue from the natural resources. Illegal mining, he emphasized, was destroying the environment and depriving the state of its fair share of revenue from the natural resources. At a ceremony held at the Jubilee House, the President of the Republic charged members of the task force to carry out their duties without fear or favor. The President emphasized that nobody, no matter how highly placed, would be spared if found culpable in the illegal mining chain. The President again stressed that the mandate of the task force is to clamp down on the illegal mining and smuggling of gold in the country. He urged the task force to work with other security agencies to clamp down on those involved in illegal mining and smuggling, and depriving the state of its fair share of revenue from the natural resources. The President commended other security agencies for their roles in protecting the country's natural resources and urged the task force to collaborate with them to clamp down on those involved in illegal mining and smuggling. As part of measures to clamp down on illegal mining and smuggling of gold, President Mahama has introduced a number of policies. President Mahama gave the assurance that the task force would be monitored to ensure that they carried out their duties without fear or favor. Under the scheme, small-scale miners would pay royalties to the state for the use of the land. The fund is also expected to generate revenue for the state and create jobs for Ghanaians. The system would enable the government to know the exact location of all small-scale miners in order to monitor their activities. Adding that the worrying trend had reached a point where foreigners were not only encroaching on lands meant for mining, the ministry served notice that it would not hesitate to demolish any illegal structures on state lands, but were also transporting excavators and other mining equipment to concession areas without any legal authority. They were also transporting excavators and other mining equipment to concession areas without legal authority. Mr. Juniper noted that the illegal miners had become a threat to national security and economic stability and must be dealt with, and reiterated the commitment of the Akufo-Addo administration to protecting the country's natural resources for sustainable development. President Mahama stressed that this trend would not be countenanced by his government. Unfortunately, however, only 1.2 tons of the gold is captured in official figures, with the rest being smuggled out of the country, depriving the state of its fair share of the mineral resource. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. We'll be monitoring the comments to bring you the best. Don't forget to like this video for more updates. Thank you. However, the launch of this task force is a step in the right direction, and we hope it would help put an end to this menace. President Mahama stated that the situation called for urgent attention because it had reached levels where foreign nationals were not only encroaching on lands meant for large-scale and small-scale mining, but were also transporting excavators and other mining equipment to concession areas without any legal authority. It is no longer news that Ghana loses millions of dollars every year to illegal gold mining and smuggling. And even though Ghana is blessed with many natural resources, including gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese, oil, etc., the proceeds from these resources are not reflecting in the country's development. Even though the sector minister, Honorable Atik Mohammed, announced last year that the government was going to set up a task force to deal with the situation, it took the minister almost a year to come back to the public to announce that the task force was ready to start operations, and this can be attributed to the activities of illegal miners and smugglers who go to the illegal sites, mine the minerals, and sell them outside the country without any documentation. To clamp down on this menace, there have been several calls by well-meaning Ghanaians to the President of the Republic to set up a task force that would be charged with the responsibility of arresting illegal miners and smugglers. Well, we waited patiently for the sector minister to announce when exactly the task force was going to start operations. On Friday, May 19, 2023, President Mahama launched a new task force that would help clamp down on the activities of illegal miners and smugglers in the country. In his speech, President Mahama stated that the mandate of the task force is to clamp down on the illegal mining and smuggling of gold in the country. He said, "This phenomenon of illegal mining has assumed such alarming proportions that it has undermined our efforts at formalizing small-scale mining and has rather encouraged a thriving underground market for gold smuggling." Even though Ghana is the largest gold producer in Africa, with gold contributing significantly to the country's GDP, it is unfortunate that the country still witnesses rampant illegal mining and smuggling of the precious metal. President Mahama noted that if left unchecked, illegal mining would undermine efforts by the government to formalize small-scale mining and encourage a thriving underground market for gold smuggling. He indicated that reports available to the government suggested that foreigners were encroaching on land meant for large and small-scale mining. He noted that the activities of the task force would be monitored to ensure that they carried out their duties without fear or favor. President Mahama reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protect the natural resources for the benefit of current and future generations. He expressed worry about the activities of illegal miners, popularly known as galamsey, which he said were destroying the environment. He mentioned that the reports had become so disturbing that it had undermined efforts at formalizing small-scale mining and encouraging a thriving underground market for gold smuggling. He stressed that nobody, no matter how highly placed, would be spared if found culpable in the illegal mining chain. President Mahama re-emphasized that the establishment of the task force demonstrated his administration's commitment to protecting the country's natural resources for the benefit of current and future generations. With the launch of this task force, we can be sure that the president means business when it comes to fighting the canker of gold smuggling in the country. One of the policies introduced is the National Digital Property Addressing System, which seeks to address the problem of locating dredges and other landing equipment used by illegal miners. Another policy introduced by the president is the community mining scheme, which seeks to offer legal small-scale miners the opportunity to mine on concession areas. Also, the government has launched the Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIIF, which aims at investing in infrastructure that support mining and add value to mineral resources before they are exported. Even though these policies are aimed at reducing illegal mining and smuggling of gold in the country, their effectiveness would depend on how well they are implemented. However, the government has made it clear that it would not tolerate any illegal mining activities in the country and that anyone found culpable would be dealt with according to the law. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has warned illegal miners to vacate mining concessions or face arrest. The sector minister, Samuel A. Jinaber, speaking at a press conference in Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital, emphasized that the government was committed to protecting the country's natural resources from illegal miners. He said the government had observed with grave concern the activities of illegal miners, popularly known as galamseers, on concession lands across the country. He said the ministry had directed the Minerals Commission and the Lands Commission to compile a comprehensive list of all lands currently being used for mining and furnish them with the necessary security to safeguard the lands. Mr. Jinaber warned that the government would not hesitate to demolish any illegal structures on state lands used for mining. What do you think about the fight against illegal mining and smuggling of gold?